The road to parenthood looks different for everyone. For those of us who cannot have a traditional family, the aim here is to strengthen this resolve against society's expectations. We're known as the worst club with the best members. Well, I'm blessed to have found my tribe. You're listening to Mothers in Arms. I'm your host, Leslie Lopez. This is episode number 19 in conversation with Over the Rainbow agency owner, Megan Gutman. Megan's personal journey with years of struggling with loss, IVF, and a gestational carrier journey that eventually did lead her to having twins is what inspired her to found her boutique surrogacy agency, Over the Rainbow. Megan worked for years as a film producer, dealing with high-end clients, celebrity, and many different personalities in the entertainment industry makes her the perfect person to understand and support others facing infertility challenges. Over the Rainbow aims to provide a smooth, kind, and thoughtful experience to the delicate, slippery slope of third-party reproduction. Here we go, friends. Let's get into this. Thank you, Megan, so much for joining us today on the podcast. It's such an honor to have you on.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. It's my pleasure.
I've been going through your website and your social media. I'd love for you to tell us in your own words what inspired you to start your surrogacy agency.
Yeah, I'd love to tell you. I started Over the Rainbow Surrogacy Agency because I myself was an intended parent that went through the process firsthand. And I had a kind of a poor experience with the agency that I went with. And I
Oh.
just I come from the film industry actually. And I wanted to do this because I wanted to give back to people. I know what a process and journey this is. And I just wanted to help
Mm.
be more transparent, be more hand holding to people. Like I think anyone going through this deserves that. And
Mhm.
I wanted to give back. So that's why I started it.
I love that. Not a lot of, or more and more intended parents, I should say, are speaking up about their experiences, myself included. I
Yeah.
love that it inspired you to take that step. Was there something that during your experience that was sort of lacking or really great that you sort of held on to for your agency?
Yeah. First of all, to be honest, they took my money up front, like right away. And then they gave me several different surrogates and I fell in love with them and got attached to them and then went through the process and they got denied by my doctor like right away. So I wasted probably 6 months of my time with my money tied up with people that weren't vetted properly, like medical records wise, simple stuff. And so it
Basic.
just it wasted my time and it was just a real bummer. When you get to that
Mm.
point where you decide to go with surrogacy, it's disappointing that that's what their job is to vet these people and give you someone amazing and it's sad when that can't be done.
I'm
And
so
then
sorry. Was that here in
yeah, and
California or was that in a
yeah,
different state?
it was in California, yeah. And then on top of that, once I think it was the fourth girl that ended up working out with me, and she was amazing, and it was all meant to be for that. But the minute that we did match, they kind of disappeared and weren't there for the process. And
Oh,
found myself, her and I, doing everything on our own, and that was a bummer
oh.
too, because it was like, really, we paid you this fee, and where are you?
Was your first fourth surrogate, had she been a surrogate before?
No, no. I actually wanted someone who had done it before. So she wasn't an ideal candidate for me, but it worked out great and she was amazing. Like she was wonderful and meant to be, and it was great.
Wow. So right away you learned vet the surrogates, be there for your clients throughout the process. Like right off the bat, you were just like, what is this? And fourth surrogate, God, you really start to build your hopes up and a relationship. The minute you here's your match, like how heartbreaking that you had to like let go, regroup, let go.
Yeah, it just wasted so much time and energy. And then also, like, when it came time for the birth, like I didn't even know what hospital she was giving birth at. Like my name wasn't on the list. Like
Oh,
I got there, she had a C-section, and so we had to spend a couple of nights there, and I was sleeping on a bench this wide, for 2 nights, and then the hospital was like, you could have had your own room. Like, why didn't your agency set up a room for you? I'm like, what? I didn't know that
what?
was an option. And then, I had to drive her. She had driven herself to the hospital. So I had to drive her car home, come back, Uber back, drive her with my two newborn twins to her house, take her up 3 stories of her apartment stairs and tuck her in and make sure she was okay and fed. Like they didn't have a car set up for her or any, like there was just no care. Um,
Gosh.
and then 6 months after the twins were born, I got hit with a $30,000 lien from the hospital that I knew nothing about. And that was like the cherry on the ice cream, because it was just like, really? Like,
Oh,
how do you not know that? How do you not inform your client that going to a hospital that doesn't take proper insurance will hit you with a gigantic lien later? It's just not fair that I wasn't given that information up front.
that's not fair. There's so many moving parts to this, right? The insurance, the lawyers, the surrogate, the mental health, the agency, the intended parent. Like
Yeah.
it all needs to be you definitely need a coordinator, someone who's checking in on all the things. And the insurance thing can really be so tricky. Is that something that Over the Rainbow takes extra precautions on, or?
Yes, 100% we do that. We work with a company called Art Risk, where we get
Yes.
the surrogates insurance validated through them. And then we do several Zooms and consults with them, with the intended parents, to make sure they're fully informed with all options, and really give them the best opportunity to understand the process, because that's important.
It really is. I know Art Risks. They're part of Seeds. They're vetted. This is like it's so important to use vetted companies. Was the How did you find the agency that you started with?
So I really did. I thought I did my due diligence. I looked up many, many different agencies, and I printed out all of their information and pricing and everything. And I found myself like it was comparing apples to oranges. Some people broke down certain things, some people didn't. Some people included this, did not include that. And I found it really hard to compare. And so I ended up going with a company that I thought was the most quick to get back to me and communicative, and they were lower on the cost spectrum. Um, and I really thought I was comparing and doing a good job with picking the right one, but just you can tell that there's so many missing parts and pieces.
Right.
And I think that's just they're not being transparent. They're hiding costs. They're not being fully informative about things. And so I want Over the Rainbow to be that. I want to be upfront, honest, communicative, and give everyone all the information they deserve.
That's so great. I think that's so important and a core value of a company that should be top on the list, right? You'd think transparency is, and for some companies it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's so important. It's so important because it's an expensive process, It's people take out second mortgages on their houses to do this sometimes. So it's like it's not fair when you don't understand where your money's going, you know? So we really take it upon ourselves to walk all the intended parents through every cost item and explain where it goes and why.
I I think I know the answer to this next one, but what about, did the agency, and we won't say their name unless you want to, um, did they offer mental health support to you while you were going through from day one?
I didn't even know it was an option. They didn't even bring it up. I, I don't think my surrogate even knew it was an option. So it
Wow.
was a weird thing that, like, some people need it, some people don't. But at least it would be good to know up front if it's an option. So
Right?
yeah.
Does I love the name Over the Rainbow. Where did that come from? What inspired you to come up with that name?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So over the rainbow came initially from the term rainbow baby, because I had had a loss and my twins came after, so they were rainbow babies. And then, it's for the LGBTQ community as well, because I feel like anyone and everyone deserves to have and create their own family. And then I
Mm,
feel like, over the rainbow. It's like there's a pot of gold at the end. It's such a journey and a magical thing, but there's this wonderful thing at the end.
indeed.
So that's where our name came from.
I love that. Having gone through a surrogate journey of my own, like that title, it just makes me smile. And yes, it's like this rocky road of trying to become a parent, but that pot of gold is your family. And I love that it's LGBTQ plus focused, or just friendly, just hey, we're here for you. As a single independent parent, right, I fall into this category of LGBTQ plus because the contracts that apply to us, the guidelines, insurance. Right now, we're still at a point where we're still trying to work out all the kinks for LGBTQ plus and single parents. So I love that you're saying, "Hey, I'm here for you."
Yeah, we're absolutely here for anyone and everyone who wants to build or create a family.
So Megan, when Did did you ever have a conversation with someone at the agency about like what's going on? Who's driving here? Like why aren't you here for me?
It was I have a weird story because I actually got divorced during the surrogacy, and my
Oh,
surrogate also got divorced during the journey, so it was like a wild bumpy
double.
road. It's funny, I didn't really
Wow.
call them to be like, "Where are you and why?" I didn't even take the time to like go through the costs or understand them. I was just excited that my babies were on the way and it was happening and it was a miracle. So I was just focused on the positive. In hindsight, I would have loved to have called them and been like, I paid you all this agency money. Where are you?" But I didn't. So for
It's
next
the
time.
producer in you. You're like, let's get to the finish line.
Yeah.
Let's get there. Let's not sweat this.
Yeah. 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 But I think that they kind of took advantage of us for that reason. Like every time I did have a conversation or questions, they kind of were like, "Well, you're lucky that this is happening." And I'm like, "Yeah, I
What?
am lucky." And then it kind of diverted my attention. But yeah, it's like it's a process in a business and they should have been there more for us. But I'm just going to do better through my company. That's what I'm going to do.
There you go. Positive forward. I
Yeah.
love that. You mentioned transparency that so do you mean just in terms of cost, like added costs? Is that something that you fell through the cracks, or what do you mean by
Yeah,
transparency?
definitely costs. Being transparent about all of that. I think in general it's everything though. Like when I have conversations with intended parents, I pay attention to what they're looking for in a surrogate. I pay attention to their personality. I pay attention to their location and what their values are and what they want out of the journey. I think a lot of these other agencies are like cattle calls. They just bring a bunch of surrogates in and they just match them with intended parents, and it's a money machine, and it's ridiculous. Like this is an important and cool special journey that you should go on with the right person, so that you can get the most out of it. I mean, some people love the transactional side of it, which is fine. And you can just have it be that way if you want. But if you want to have this beautiful, amazing relationship with the person, you really need to be matched with the right person. So when I say transparency, I also mean caring about the intended parents and the surrogate and making sure that they belong together.
That's right. Even if it means waiting longer, right? It's the right match is the right match.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have had matches happen where they've matched right away because they're excited about it, and then get into it with them a little bit, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not sure about this match. And so I'm transparent about it. I talk to them. I'm like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel comfortable? You're carrying someone's child. Like, you have to feel comfortable as a surrogate, and vice versa. You have to trust the person that's carrying for you. So it's transparency is key in this relationship.
Agreed. And I feel like from the case counselor, right, surrogate intended parents, the communication on all fronts, right, whether it's, I don't know, a surrogate being upfront about the fact that her partner, vapes, or,
Yeah.
that she likes her caffeine or whatever it is, like not being full disclosure about it, it's not helping anybody.
Yeah, no, exactly. I really get to know the intended parents and the surrogates for this reason, because I want everyone to be honest with each other. I think everybody deserves honesty.
Honesty is certainly a key component to what makes a surrogate like a good surrogate, right? Like amongst other things, like not just anyone can be a surrogate, not just anyone. Like you need to have a clean bill of health, you need to have stable home support, a stable family support. Even if you're a single female, right? You still need to know that you have family members or friends that are going to be able to help you through your pregnancy.
Mhm.
What other qualities make a surrogate a good candidate for your agency?
Yeah, so there's the age range. You have to be at least 21, and the cutoff is usually around 40. It depends on the IVF center and their requirements. But they have had to have had one child, healthy birth, no complications. They can't use recreational drugs. They need to be a US citizen. They need to have a good stable home life.
Hmm.
They need to be a caring and thoughtful person. They need
Right.
to not be doing this for the right intentions. Those are my extra requirements, because I think it's
Yeah.
important that, like, we don't want someone that fits all the bill, but like is doing this for the wrong reasons. Y-
Right.
I don't want someone that is just doing it for money, for instance. Like, I want there to be a care factor there. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, those are like the basic requirements, but we try to take the extra care in really picking people with values and that want to do this, to help.
To help the cause.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you say clean bill of health, I remember when I was looking for surrogates, there sometimes you start to see, oh, they've had miscarriages, or they've had, you because you get to see their full record,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so you can see all these things. But a couple, i'm I hate to say this, but a miscarriage is pretty common, right? For someone to have
Yeah.
had,
Mhm.
that is something normal that you would see in some of the surrogate profiles.
Yes, or an abortion, that's common
Right.
too.
Right.
And that's okay. People have made choices and decisions, and like, that's okay. You look at their records, and as long as everything else matches up, that's fine.
There's so many important things, right, that play a factor. Distance. Everybody has different priorities, I guess, right? When you had your surrogate, what was like number one thing you're like, I'm not gonna change on this. It has to be this.
Um, I guess because it was my first time as a parent, I wanted someone close to me because I wanted to be at the appointments. I wanted to
Ah.
experience it. I'm already not getting to carry, so I wanted to go through the process and be at the ultrasounds. That was important to me. So
Mhm.
my surrogate was located in San Diego, and so she got to come up and see my IVF doctor. And then I'd go down to her when she switched over to her OB. But it was nice to have that as my first time. If I were to do
Mhm.
it again, I would be totally fine having someone out of state. It was just because it was my first time. I wanted to be really present. But now
Aw.
with Zoom and FaceTime and everything, like, I would be absolutely okay with another state, because you still can get that wonderful feeling and presence of being there, over.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Or if it's not too far, flying for certain appointments, flying a couple weeks before the delivery date. There's so
Yeah,
many ways.
it's
Yeah,
cool. Like, think about it. Like, if your surrogate's in Atlanta, like, how fun. You get to go out there and put yourself up in a hotel and you have a story behind it?
right. Yes.
So I think it's cool.
Can I go back to you mentioned a life change during your journey with your through your divorce? How did that affect your surrogate, and how did that affect the contract?
It didn't affect anything contractually. We had already had our legal done. So that was solid. I was really worried about that and if it would change anything. It was solid. We had a great lawyer and everything there was neat and tidy. But it was hard. It was really hard to get divorced during the journey, because I really had to mentally focus on what was happening and this gift that was coming my way, and try to get the noise out of my head to be like, okay,
Yeah.
my dream is finally happening. The babies are on the way, like, focus. So it just
Yeah.
took a little bit of extra effort and concentration, but it's everything happens for a reason, and I'm just so blessed that I have my two beautiful twins, and we're just happier than ever.
Oh my God, you're so strong, Megan. Like I love the words and how you describe that about staying focused. I myself went through something similar. I got went through a divorce as well, going through my independent journey via surrogacy. And so I remember, certain moments where I'd be like, "Oh, this is the part where right, my partner would be here with me," or
Yeah.
even at the hospital, the whole hospital thing, was just like being there by myself, and you're like, wow, this is what I've been waiting for. This is my years of here. And then you're just like, oh, right. I would be calling him. I would be turning over to them, whatever it is. And it does take that bit of focus on, but you have this, but you have that. And it's okay. It's okay to tear through it, right? It's okay to feel those emotions of sadness, right? Because it is, for me, it was sad. I should say it was a loss of sorts, even though you're gaining this beautiful life. It really was a unique balance.
Yeah, I got really, really, really lucky because, yeah, as I said, my surrogate accidentally got divorced at the same time during the journey. So it was this weird relationship where her and I really bonded, because it was
Yeah.
her and I, like, having these babies together. And it was like I had to be her support. She had to be my support. And it was just this really beautiful thing being there with just her and I in the delivery room. And even when
Wow.
I drove the babies home from San Diego by myself, I just felt so proud of myself and so
Mm.
excited for the future. And I just felt so blessed that I made the decision to go on the surrogacy journey. I had gone through IVF for almost 5 years. So coming to that decision and coming up with that money and getting through the divorce and getting the babies, like, it was just a beautiful experience that I'm just so lucky that I got to experience.
Absolutely. Bravo, bravo to you for
And you,
for
and
for
you,
getting, thank you.
you're
It
strong women.
No, it's not easy. Yeah, it's like super strong. Anyone who wants to do this independently, like it's not like it's not an easy thing, right? So I'm like, oh sure, I recommend it. I mean, I don't necessarily recommend it. People ask me like, do you recommend it? I'm like, only if you're gonna have full-time help
Yeah.
or full-time family. Like
Oh,
who's helping you do this?
yeah, yeah. So I have an au pair that lives with me, and it was the smartest decision ever. She is from Argentina. She is part of my family now. She is the best. Like, she is helping me raise them, and she is just wonderful. So I have a really crazy volatile schedule, and so it's really wonderful to have someone like that that's living with you that can be flexible with the schedule. And I
Amazing.
have a nanny on top for the
Yeah,
extra hours.
because you have a business and they have a life as well. So it takes a village.
Yeah, it really does.
Blessings. Are they learning Spanish then
Yeah, they
or
are. They're learning Spanish.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. And they just started preschool. It's so cute to see them go with their little backpacks to school. So,
That is so cool.
yeah, it's fun. It's so fun.
What message would you give to anyone who is considering becoming a parent via surrogacy?
I would say bravo for thinking of it because it is a beautiful, amazing journey that you will not regret. Um, and I would just say do your due diligence with looking up different agencies, comparing them, talking to them. Um, if you want the best one, come to us. No. um,
Yeah.
but really do your homework and make sure that you pick the right one because you want the right agency by your side through your journey. You want to be aware of the costs. You want to have the right insurance. You want to have the right surrogate. You want to have a beautiful experience where you feel confident and happy with the outcome. So that
That's
would be
right.
my advice.
What makes Over the Rainbow different from other agencies? Like,
I firsthand, it's through the lens of I have been through this firsthand. So really, we're a boutique agency that was built off of wanting to give back and help. We are not here to make money. I was in the film industry making tons of money. I don't need to be doing this. I want to do it because I want to help. And I know firsthand how intended parents feel when they get to this stage and the costs and how overwhelming it can be and how scary it is and the frustrations and the angst and like the hope and it's just it's
mm,
hard. And so I am firsthand here to help with all of that because I understand it firsthand. I think a lot of these other agencies are corporately owned, they're run by men, and they can't understand what it feels like. They just don't get it. So
mhm.
we really pride ourselves on, we've been through it and we understand and we can relate.
It sounds like you're really filling in the holes of your own experience with all the positive that you could to help intended parents get to that next step.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. Like I just want to help people. I think it's a beautiful industry because we're helping people build families. We are helping surrogates finance their families and give back and it's a beautiful relationship and so we're here for it.
Do you have mental health support as an option
Yes.
coming in now? Is this something that you're incorporating more?
Yes, it is written into everyone's contract that mental mental health is available for the surrogate, and we also have an amazing roster of recos for intended parents as well. I think it's really important that it's there if it's needed.
For sure. I feel like this is a sort of the next chapter in third party reproduction is really seeing mental health as something that can really enhance and your experience, support your experience, right? Like especially in that communication between the surrogate and the intended parent. You guys bonded immediately on something, but not everybody has like something to bond with, right? Especially if they're in another state. I feel like having that third party there, besides the owner or case counselor, just someone that's sort of a safe, neutral third party where you can say, hey, like, let's talk about all the possibilities here. I know we just signed our contract or we're going to sign a contract, but what are some of your concerns? Right? Just like
Yeah.
it's one thing to talk to you, right? And it's another thing to talk to the person who's paying for all of this, right? And then it's like, who's got your back, right? Who's your friend?
Yeah, I mean, I really think we are that number one. Like we're here, we don't work 9 to 5. We work 24/7 and we're here to answer any call at any time, any text, talk about whatever. So we're here for it and we have the best case managers in the business. But yeah, we have this list of mental support available at all times, because it's crucial that it's a process. It's a different journey, and that you are supported throughout it. You know.
Is, is there anything missing, you think, still in this industry that you hope to make a change in?
Um, let's think about that. I think it's an evolving industry, and it's really cool that we have seeds and we have conferences and we have webinars, and it's important to be involved in that community, because the
Right.
more people that you talk to, you learn from one another and
Yes.
build and grow in a better way. So it's a really kind of cool community to be a part of, and to have discussions with. Um,
Yes.
but I don't know if
Conversation.
anything's missing per se. I would say it's growing, evolving, and hopefully becoming better.
That's right. It's all we could do, and I think you're so right. There's all these resources there for this industry, but tapping
Mhm.
into it, actually using it, talking with each other. Like, do you have? Are there other agencies that you are maybe through Seeds or someone that you're like?
Yes. Yes. I have a few different agencies that we call sister agencies, that we use to talk to one another. Like, if I have a question about something that I don't know, I can pick up the phone and call my friend and discuss it out. So it's really cool to have a community around you where you're not alone and you're not making rash decisions. You're thinking about it and talking it through together, so that it's, a guided decision.
Yes. Is Over the Rainbow national, or is it all international as well?
Yes, yes, yes. So we have intended parents coming internationally. All of our surrogates are US.
Ah.
And but we are nationwide.
You said you may, if you ever were to do this again, is that something that you're considering potentially growing your family?
Having twins is tough. And I had them later in life as an older woman. And it's expensive to have kids. So,
Yes, it is.
I think it's a beautiful experience. I would absolutely do it again. I just think financially I need to catch up. And it's a lot
Hear
of work,
that.
like
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
so blessed that I had my two, and I want to enjoy every moment with them. So if it comes along and it's meant to be, I would do it again, but not sure.
You're blessed with two twins. I mean, I'm so happy for you, Megan. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking about your agency and your family. It really means a lot to know that there's somebody who cares. That it's not just, I'm going to open up this business to because it's trending. It's I mean, you literally are so passionate about this because it's personal, and I thank you for your time.
Yeah, Leslie, you're amazing. Like, I want to say the same to you. Like, I'm so excited for you and proud that you're doing this podcast, because to get the word out there and to educate everybody on this is such a cool and important thing. So, thank you for doing that.
Aw, appreciate that.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
That's a wrap for today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to hear from you on any thoughts you have about anything we discussed today. You can check out more of these and similar stories on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok at mothersinarms.pod. If you take a few seconds, please, to rate this episode and like this channel on whatever platform you're listening on, thank you. It goes a long way to getting the word out on this little podcast. Thank you for your music at Dante Pascuso and at Pretty Easy Podcast. Thanks for your magic. Until next time, friends, may the blessings stay with you.